Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. This is Wild West 08, spreading some holiday cheer. And we are on level 380. I don't think there's anything significant with that, but my lovely companion can tell you if there is, and that is KooshMoose today. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, and I'm not aware of anything special with 380, other than it's 20 more than 360, and various other various other sums and subtractions. Yeah,
We are well into the winter season, and we're getting ready to have any kind of Christmas, holiday celebrations, end of the year stuff, all of that. Is that keeping you busy right now?
yeah. Certainly with the TA stuff and the gaming stuff, it feels like the year is coming to a close, and it's very quick. I mean, it was just Thanksgiving, and we're already, it feels like halfway to Christmas, and it's flying by.
Today I was trying to catch up on some, all that stuff that you were just mentioning, and because I'm going, on a work assignment next week, and so, I don't know how much time I'll have to game, and I was like, well, there's the 360 contest that we'll talk about here in a second. There's the 12 Days of Christmas contest, and I was like trying to make sure I get my targets done, getting all these things done before, and I was like, man, it's like I love some of these things, but at the same time, I'm not like you. I'm not one to dabble in games and move on to the next. So I try to figure out how to play the game again. Like today, they had the DLC for Indiana Jones on, which I'm sure I'll talk about in the future sometime. And so I was trying to get some achievements for that. I think that worked for the second 12 Days of Christmas thing. And so I was like trying to remember all the controls for Indiana Jones, and then for the target, you needed the two L's together, and I needed to do NCAA football was probably an easier one for that. So I was trying to do that, and I was just going back and forth, and I was like, this is what it's like to be Koosh, I guess.
Wow, this is hyper because I'm actually kind of burned out on it as well. I'm like, I would just like to stop playing all these things and just focus on 10 games would be fantastic as opposed to everything I'm doing. I don't know if you're aware, Chin Doctor, he does a special version of the 12 Days of Christmas where he makes it really hard on himself. Like every day he has to complete the challenge for that day and every previous challenge. So it's just like the song, right?
Yeah.
So the first day he does day one challenge, day two, he does day two, then day one. So he's making it really hard for himself. Now, I started doing that way back when he first talked about it, 5-8 years ago, however long it was. I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's try it. I didn't get very far.
No.
And so over the years, I've compromised. And I said, okay, well, I'll do a little bit extra. I'll go with it as far as I can. Some years, this year, I said, you know what? No. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to just use a different game for every challenge. So I won't reuse a game on the same day's challenge. I could use it on day 2 and day 3, but I won't use it twice on day 3 for day 3's challenge. So that's what I'm trying to do. I, of course, goofed it all up for day 8. I think I was playing RoboCop, and I wanted to get to. I started playing RoboCop. It was like level 2.
Mm-hmm.
I played a little bit, and then I thought I closed the game after like a save point or something. I came back. I had to play that whole intro again to level 2, and I was like, "Oh, that stinks. Let me just get to something where I'm sure it's going to save my progress." Right. So I went ahead and I did the shooting range, and I did really well in the shooting range. Apparently, I got all 3 achievements that you're supposed to get for the shooting range that I didn't know existed. I assumed there'd be one, but no, there's an achievement for getting 100, 150, and 200 or 250, something like that. Something crazy. I got all 3. They all popped out. I was like, oh no. I went and I looked, and I accidentally have 1 on one day and 2 on the next day. So I kind of shot myself in the foot there. Whatever. That's fine. Moving on. I'll try to keep going without repeating too many. So he's crazy. I'm slightly less crazy.
I couldn't imagine doing that right now. You'd have to do a lot of planning just to make sure that you know what to play and all that stuff. And it's more time than I have right now to be able to sit down and think, hey, what can I do for here? What can I do for? Obviously, you're making a plan on the go as you find out the different challenges and everything, unless he has an
Yeah,
inside source or something. But
I think he likes the meta of planning it. Whereas I'm just like, yeah, let me just spread my games around some. I'll go back and play things I haven't played in a while,
yeah,
get a little bit more progress. But
yeah. So
yeah,
speaking of all of these contests, the one that's just about to end, and it will end by the time the this podcast comes out, is the 360 at 20 contest. Have you been participating in this?
just enough to get my badge. I think I'm at 29 or something like that. But that was just because
Well, so what did you just use one game, or have you used different games for it, or what'd you do?
that one I did. There's no nonsense. There's no silliness. Just get my stuff as quickly as I could. And what did I use? I knocked out two kind of short games. What was that Altered Beast and Virtua Fighter? So some classics. I knocked those two out, and that was most of it. And then I went through and I got some more with um, what did I use? Ba, 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 ba. Not really sure, but those were like the bulk of it. And I just did a little bit of extra, just whatever was backwards compatible, just kind of fill it out. And I think like I said, I think I'm at 29 now. I'm not really paying attention to it.
Okay.
Once I get my badge, yeah, I'm at 29. Oh yeah, because of some other stuff I did. Let's see, what did I use? I used Dirt 3. I used Skate. I used Beautiful Katamari. Toy Story 3. Man, I need to finish that game. And Rocket Knight. Got my second achievement in Rocket Knight, finally.
There you go. I think I've done Toy Story 3. Let me check that real fast. I believe
Yeah,
I
it's
did.
not
No, I
bad.
haven't. I guess I must be thinking of another Toy Story game, but yeah, I didn't know if I was going to do it or not, and didn't know if I would have the time, but I did start it. I decided, I was kind of in between games and everything, and so I was like, let me see what I've got, because I still, I bought some 360 games from X a while ago, so I had those, and I was looking through my backwards compatible ones as well, and then as I saw there was SpongeBob Truth and Square was in my backlog. It was a 6 to 8 hour completion, and it had like 40 or 41 achievements. So I was like, you know what? I will start the contest, and this will be my next game because I enjoy getting rid of the 360 games that are in my backlog. So I think I'm at 24 achievements right now, which is a far cry from number one, who has 904 achievements on the 360. That's crazy. And like a week, too. A week and a half, I guess, as much as the contest has been going on. So
Uh,
that is props to Sirios. I hope I'm saying his name right. But I was trying to see if there was anybody on our list that I could see, and I don't really
Sir
see.
Polygon,
So
level, he's
Polygon,
number 10. Yeah.
yeah, he was the one that I didn't know or not. But yeah, 268. Congrats on that. But
Let's see if there's
yeah,
anyone in the top 20. Let me just real quick. Um, no, I think he is the only one I recognize in the top 20.
Shea Block is at 89. He's 81.
Ah,
So props to you guys and doing that. Hope you've had fun kind of cleaning up some 360 stuff and everything. The other, not to be outdone by the other big contest, which I know is a fan favorite from a lot of us at Achievement Hunting 101 and in the Discord and on TA, is the 12 Days of Christmas contest, which I think for me is my favorite contest of the year. But I haven't really had a chance to get too deep into it. I've looked at it a little bit. I haven't really seen where things are going. I've just kind of been surprised with where I'm at when it pops up on my TA page. I've made it through the first 2 days so far, and I'm on challenge 3 right now, where it's three has beens. So I guess you got to have 3 achievements in the top 100 of our most popular Xbox games of the week chart, but is not currently in it. I guess Indiana Jones is not in the top 100 or top 100 right now because that one of those achievements on the DLC worked for that. and guess I think some of my SpongeBob stuff works out. So after this recording, I might go drop in there real fast and get a couple achievements and move on to number 4. But where are you at on the 12 days?
I am on, like I said, day 8. Yeah, the last thing I did was RoboCop, and that spanned. That got me my last one on day 7 and 2 on day 8, all from the same thing, the shooting range. And so day 8 is achievements in handheld optimized games. I then foolishly said, "Oh, I'm really close to getting 200 Paragon in Diablo 4. Let me just do that." Not thinking, "Oh yeah, of course, that's it plays on PC, but it's not a stack." In the progress, you don't pop achievements on the PC for Diablo 4, I don't think. So whatever, didn't count. It's not up there, but I got Paragon 200. So I got to think of some other things. I'll probably do an extra game before I focus on 9, just so I can kind of stick to my thing and say, yeah, well, I did it, even though I goofed. Of using a different game for each one. So
Nice. Well, you're definitely further along than I am, and you enjoying it this year, or is it kind of more of just trying to get it done so you can play whatever you want to play or need to play?
well, yeah, I think with the 360 and the Halloween trick or treat being so recent, and then also 12 days, and the end of the year is kind of coming up, and I kind of want to get some stuff out of the way and focus on some of these new things to Game Pass. I kind of just want to be done. I mean, I don't want to be ungrateful. I like this contest, and so I'm trying to, I guess, kind of do it in bursts. So I'll probably wait a little while, let some things kind of build up, and then just kind of go on a tear on the weekend or something and finish it up, or finish my next big leap.
Nice. All right. Well, I hope everyone's having fun with these contests, and let us know how your progress is going in the Discord, and share off all that stuff in Brag Camp if you're finishing your contests. I believe Koosh mentioned that there is a Game Awards coming up here in a couple days.
Well,
I guess by the time it'll be
exactly. You know how time travel works. Like you and I are very excited to hear about it on Thursday. Everyone else is talking about what happened. Who rushed the stage. How many times Kojima was mentioned? My friend Kojima,
personal friend,
my personal friend Kojima. What Muppets were being worn as dresses? That sort of stuff. So that'll all have happened by the time you hear this podcast. So I'm so glad that game won that we totally knew would.
I hope Claire Obscure wins.
I'm sure it's going to win something. I mean, it was nominated for everything like twice, right? So
yeah,
pretty good chance it'll win something.
All the actors and actresses twice, and
yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Usually, I just kind of watch it from like an hour or two behind, and just kind of skip fast forward all the BS and stuff, and just kind of go see who wins and see any trailers or anything. But
there we go. I was gonna say, I don't understand why you're talking about the Game Awards for who won something. Like no one watches for that. I don't watch for that. I don't really pay attention to that. I pay attention to the trailers and the world exclusives and all that.
Yeah, I remember last year. I think I was pretty disappointed. They didn't have anything very good last year, so hopefully they'll step it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think 2 years ago was really good. I don't remember being super disappointed. I don't remember being disappointed at all last year. Maybe that's not the case. But I know there's going to be a Tomb Raider announcement.
Okay.
We've already heard that the worst kept secret in gaming at the moment is Black Flag Remake. It's now called Resynced.
Hate that name.
I'm very excited to not buy that day one and instead buy it at the end of the year when it's 50%. Very excited to do that and play it again because I love Black Flag.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. I have been thinking about playing whatever version of the originals since they came out on the 360 and the one. I know I did one of them. I don't think I did both, so I need to see about that. I've been kind of itching to go back and do that, but I don't like the name of the new one, but I will probably pick it up sometime, as I play most of the Assassin's Creed games.
I feel like they're going to cut out the multiplayer too. Like I hope kind of banking on that. Yeah, I really hope they don't include the multiplayer. or if they do, they change it up somehow. Number one, make it work. Number two, make it easier to get everything.
Yeah.
Or yeah, make it
Yeah,
different.
I mean,
It'd be
it's
great.
give them props for trying some different stuff, but I mean, it's just not was not going to work out the way they want it to. What was it, Wolfpack? Right? I think is one of the
Yeah, I mean,
recent.
that's a relic of a different age, right? Like all
Yeah,
those weird game types, they don't need to do that. So I'm feeling they won't. I'm feeling all our achievements will be story based or DLC or story and DLC. And they'll find a new way to split up the values. And I'm okay
yeah.
with that.
No, and I hope that they decide not to do it because I just don't. I've had a problem. I play a lot of Ubisoft games and I play a lot of Assassin's Creed games, and it's just a lot of that stuff. I dabble in the Far Cry universe as well, but I don't do the some of the other things they do. But they seem to be putting a lot of effort into stuff that is not used, and then they bring on microtransactions to kind of fill in those gaps. And the way that I see it is just let's just not even do it to begin with, and you can save the money and the time and effort of coding all that stuff. If people aren't playing it, then don't. You tried it. They tried it in the some of the Ezio stuff. They had some multiplayer there, and it's fun for a little beat, but it's not going to be one of those long term Fortnite, Call of Duty, Battlefield type things that's going people are going to play forever. So just my opinion, just don't mess with it. You don't have to worry about it, but they see money, they see dollar signs in it and the microtransactions and all that, so they continue on. But anyways, moving on, we've got some targets for December. This will probably be your last warning from us because by the time the next episode from us comes out, it'll just about be done with December. So we have Silver Bells, which is earning 2+ achievements with the characters B, E, and 2 L's in the achievement or game name. So you have to get 6 for the gold. And just to give you warning, you have to have the L and L back together. You can't just have 2 L's, separately. So the game I'm using, I think I just mentioned earlier, is College Football 25. It's got the 2 L's together in college. So just be looking at that when you're doing your targets.
You save that for day 9 of
Or
12 days as well.
I've got extra achievements in there, and
Oh,
but yeah.
you've got a lot of sports games, do you?
Well, some of us do the sports games.
That's true.
You just kind of subvert the genre in general. So unless it's like an hour, I'm sure you got those Madden 08 from the 360 days.
Never again. Never again.
The next target is support the season, which is earning 5+ achievements in games from developers with 3 or fewer titles. So for gold, you need 15 achievements, and that shouldn't be too hard. The other one that might take a little bit of planning and just be careful if you're leaving it to the last minute is end of 2025. Earn 1+ achievement with the story completed flag. For gold, you need 3 achievements. So I was getting close to finishing SpongeBob for the 360 at 20, and I noticed the TA targets for December came out, so I kind of put that down for a second, let the target start, and got that one done. And then I used another one that I was done with too. I don't remember what I used for that, but let's see if I can pull it up. I might have used the game I'm talking about.
I wish I had known ahead of time because I used Virtua Fighter and Altered Beast. And that would be 2 out of my 3 already.
Mine was the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. That was the other one that I was working on around that time as well. So, but yeah, so that's going to take just a little bit of planning since some of the story flags, obviously, depending on what games you're playing, could be a little bit, a few more hours around there. But those are the targets for December. So, Koosh, what have you been dabbling in recently?
What have I been playing in? Well, let me tell you. Game Pass this month is pretty good. It's like they are trying to keep me from dropping Game Pass Ultimate. It's like they're trying to tempt me. What I've been playing, among other things, and what I've been playing, and I'm going to talk about, I should say, is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. On Game Pass. I think Game Pass Ultimate. I don't know if this one went to everything. Let me speak slowly while I click on it and check. This
Super
is
slow.
on, it says Xbox Play Anywhere crossplay, cloud gaming. Is this not on Game Pass?
No, I don't
Interesting.
think it
Must
is.
no, it has to be on Game Pass because that's the only way I'm playing it. Must be on Ultimate, and TA just hasn't updated yet.
Oh, yeah. It says if you go on the forums, it says Xbox Game Pass adds new Day 1 Marvel.
Yeah, so the page on TA is just missing the tag somehow. That's fun. We don't know how the sausage is made, and that's fine. So yeah, Marvel Cosmic Invasion. This is from Developer Tribute Games. You may remember them from most recently, or very recently, I should say, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge game, which I think a lot of people had fun with. Great game, and this is very similar. In fact, I was just flipping through the menus on both of them, just kind of look at the number of characters and things like that, and the variety in the characters, just for comparison's sake. And yeah, if you were playing them side by side, you'd think, oh, this is not necessarily a rescreen, but definitely it's got a lot of the same DNA, and maybe they kind of lifted some of the interfaces, just kind of help themselves out. But that's not a bad thing. This is a great game. Don't take that negatively. Just the quality is there. If you like TMNT Shredder's Revenge, there's a good chance you're going to like Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Now, something I should say before I get to the game, they're currently working on Scott Pilgrim EX, and it looks pretty good. So I'm hopeful that we'll have another really good game from Tribute Games in early 2026. I think that's when they said it's going to drop. They've already listed like 4 of the characters, and 3 more are going to be added, and whatever, that's fine. Just make sure the game is fun. So, Marvel Cosmic Invasion is a 4-player online game. You can play online. You can also play couch co-op, and it has cross-play. So if you happen to know people on that other system, you can go ahead and play with them. If they're playing on PC, I assume you can play with them too. I've not done any of the multiplayer yet. What's unique about this game is that when you play the game, you pick 2 characters, and you basically tag in and out with them. If you remember that from like the Tekken tag and other various fighting games, in the middle of your combo, you can press the left trigger and a face button, and your second character will come in, do an attack, and then leave. If you press the left trigger without pressing another button, you basically swap characters. And you can use that to allow a character to regenerate some health. When they take damage, their green health bar gets like a little bit of red on it, and that's the amount that you could heal back if your character gets put into that reserve position and you start playing with the healthy character instead. That's one way to save your health a little bit and kind of manage your characters. But it's just cool. It's very cool to have this other character leap in and do a special attack and leap back out. In fact, you do so much more damage when you use those tag in and tag out attacks. So I wasn't using them at first, but once I started using them on bosses, it made the bosses go down a lot faster. So I would recommend definitely think about doing that for the bosses, maybe during the levels as well. What else? You can also have them come in and do their super move. So every character has like an X attack, a Y attack, a hold X attack. B is typically a dodge, but some characters also have a parry. And then the right shoulder button is going to be like your super move, and you kind of have to wait until your power meters is full to be able to do that. It takes a long time for your power meter to fill back up until you level up your characters. As you level them up, they get different perks and different bonuses that give them more health, have them do more damage, have their meter fill faster, that sort of thing. So at first, when you're first playing the game, that special move is really special. You don't get to use it that many times per level. But as you level your characters up, that becomes available to you more often. Speaking of the characters, there are 15 that you get Some of
Ooh,
those
nice.
you'll be unlocking as you go. The characters are a bunch of standard ones, but then also some ones that maybe just the casual Marvel fan may have never seen before. I put myself kind of in that group. I'm not a huge Marvel fan. I love Marvel, but I'm not like crazy into Marvel. So some of these were surprises to me. Captain America, Nova, Storm, Venom, Wolverine, Phyla-Vell, Spider-Man, Beta Ray Bill, Black Panther, Cosmic Ghost Rider. I didn't know there was a Cosmic Ghost Rider. That's fine. Iron Man, Phoenix, Rocket Raccoon, She-Hulk, and Silver Surfer. Okay. So the only one I didn't know was Phyla-Vell. And I was actually just watching Guardians of the Galaxy 3 last night. And in the final scene, the after credit scene, Phyla-Vell shows up, and like I'm an old man, so I've got the captions on. So her name popped up on the screen. I was like, Phyla-Vell, I know her. She's like one of my favorite characters
I
in
play her.
Cosmic Invasion. Yeah, I play her on the weekends.
And your wife looks at you like, honey. You're like, I mean, yeah, I use her in a game.
No, she had already gone to bed at that point. I watch Marvel late at night because that's just what I do. I love Marvel movies. So Phyla-Vell, who I had no idea who she was. Well, she's in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for a couple minutes, which is pretty cool. Nothing like the character from the game, I'll tell you. Speaking of the characters from the game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, at least when it first came out, there wasn't a whole lot of variety because you pretty much just had the Turtles and I think Splinter. If you paid some extra money, you had Casey Jones or whatever. They were all kind of similar. I mean, right? They're turtles. Some are a little faster, some a little slower. When it comes to Marvel, these characters are very different. And that's great because you have a lot of variety. You have some characters that can shoot projectiles, some characters that are slow and plodding but do a lot of damage. You got other characters that are very fast. Can't remember if I said some of them can fly. Some of them can fly, and you can like stay up in the air and avoid things that the people on the ground have to dodge a little bit more rigorously. They have to kind of run around and get away from stuff. But if you're able to float over the stuff, it does make some of the levels a little bit easier, which is very cool. So it's just kind of great. All the variety they have, they all feel different to a certain extent, and it's really great. I love the selection that they have. Could they have more? Sure. And will they have more? Probably, because TMNT had some DLC. You got some extra characters. They may add characters to this. I'm not sure. At least every character has at least one achievement associated with them, typically on like their Y button move or something like that. But then other characters like Wolverine have an additional kind of fun achievement. Things like teaming up with who do you team up with? Storm to attack Phoenix when you're going against Phoenix, who's a boss at the end of one of the levels before you can actually unlock her as a playable character. You have to do a combo attack with them, the two of them on Phoenix, and that's an achievement, which is pretty cool if you follow the comics. Let's see. Yes, so 15 stages as well. The 15 characters, 15 stages. And there's a tutorial level, which is very short. You get an achievement for completing that. So be warned, if you don't want to play this game and get achievements, don't finish that tutorial level, or else you're kind of in it to win it. Each stage has 3 challenges that take place during that stage, and a hidden cosmic cube. As you're moving across the stage, you might see some green sparkles kind of on the background or off on the edge of the little thing. If you attack that, a cosmic cube will pop up and you grab it, and then that kind of unlocks some alternate skins for your characters, and it unlocks like a little encyclopedia, little bit about each of the characters or the scenes or something, or the bosses. So you just kind of get some lore in the extras of the game, unlocked by picking those up as well. The challenges will typically be 1 per character, and a really nice thing is that when you're at the character selection screen for that level, the characters whose challenges belong to that level have like a little white outline around them, so you don't have to go flip back and forth. I was doing this for the longest time. I was flipping. Oh man, what are the challenges? Okay, I need these 2 characters, and I go back. It took me way longer than it should have to realize that the 2 characters that have challenges on that level have like a little white outline around them. So you don't really have to go back and read the thing. You can just pick those characters, play the level, pause the level, see the challenge, and then go ahead and try to get it. That third challenge is typically something like kill boss with, or beat boss with this character, or do this special move with this character on this particular boss, or something like that. Or it could be, avoid this environmental damage on this particular level. And those are typically the hardest ones, the avoid damage from whatever. But in most cases, if you pick a flying character or 2 flying characters, that makes those types of challenges really less difficult. So if you're having trouble, swap out to a different character, and maybe you'll have better luck with that. Let me see. As far as the rest of the achievements, the basic stuff is all there. Complete the game with all characters. Now, you only have to beat the last level with those characters, so keep track of which ones you beat the game with. You can take them in 2 by 2. You don't actually have to get the last hit with that character. You just have to have them in your party when you beat the final level. Just make sure you do that with all 15 characters, and there's achievement. And of course, the character-based achievements using that particular skill 50 times, 20 times, whatever. Using that skill to get the finishing move 20 times, something like that. Most of those can be ground out on the very first level in New York. If you need to get a whole bunch of finishes with rockets, grenade, for instance. The first level is great for that. It's also great for all the other characters as well. The more difficult achievements, the ones that may take you a little bit more time, are completing the game in multiplayer. Now, if you happen to own 4 controllers, good on you. You don't really need to involve anyone else. You can just do this locally. Not a problem. If you only have 1 or 2 controllers, I know some people are in that situation. They get frustrated when I say, well, just pull out 4 controllers. You can, like I said, this can be done online. Get some other people that are in the same boat and get together, knock that out, and you're good. Then you also have to have 4 controllers to do a coordinated attack. So you all have to do your super move, the right button move, at the same time. And that's an achievement. So if you don't have 4 controllers, you're going to need to coordinate. And that's pretty much it. The completing all challenges, like I said, some of those are a little bit tricky. And so I only kind of say that's a difficult achievement because some of them may seem a little bit more difficult, but there's good solutions popping into TA. You shouldn't have any trouble by the time this comes out. So I think enough people will have commented or done it, or even have videos to show you how to do it. So all in all, really fun game, especially, if you're into Marvel, this is just great. It reminds me of the arcade, playing with Iron Man and Thor. Was it Thor?
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't Thor.
Thor was one of them, I think.
What, Thor was one of them? Okay, yeah.
I believe so.
So, yeah. But just that was great. And I love it. I'm looking forward to some more characters. Hopefully that DLC has some achievements to come with it. But if not, I would say keep your eyes open for the Scott Pilgrim EX. If you're into these games like Shredder's Revenge, this game, there's another great game coming from Tribute Games, hopefully in early 2026.
Yeah, it seems like it's got a good rating, 4.15 so far.
Yeah, out of 105. Yeah, 105 votes.
And that's quite a few gamers, too. Over 30,000 gamers have started it in 8 days. I think that's pretty healthy.
Yeah, look at my list here. Who else played it? Yeah, a good group of people have at least started it.
Yeah, it looks like L's group might have started it. And I see L and Matriarch and Prue on there.
Yep, they're all at the same level. So they all have the same score. The significant.
And sometimes those games can get a little rough with the difficulty and everything. Would you agree with that, or would you say it's a good entry level into it?
I would say this game doesn't really. It has 2 modes, right? It has the story mode and it has arcade mode. Arcade doesn't have continues, so that's the hard mode. Nothing is tied to arcade. You don't have to worry about difficulty. If you're having a problem, just level up a character. Find a character you like. Find a level you don't hate. Play that over and over again until your character gets super strong, and then Not a problem. Nova is a fantastic character. He's like one of the first ones you start with. By Lavelle. I had no idea who she was. She's also very good. So yeah, pick some characters if you're having a problem playing by yourself. And you have, a tag team, just always take one of your strongest characters to kind of help carry you through the level. I think it's faster and better for me, at least, to go with two characters that are the same level, just so I'm kind of taking less time just playing these levels over and over again. Even though they are fun, I don't want to just sit here and grind out a game once the fun is already over. So yeah, if you're having problems with the difficulty, just make sure you're using a max level character.
Yeah, this looks like something I know I've kind of followed it a little bit, and it seems kind of fun. I enjoyed playing those kind of games, back in the arcades in the day and everything. So looks like it's a nice throwback to that.
Yeah.
But any kind of collectibles or anything that you need to do, or just like you
The
said,
only
doing the
collectibles,
challenges?
the only collectibles are the challenges. They're not that bad. The cosmic cubes, one per level.
Yeah, that too.
Sometimes you'll go through a level, you'll be like, there was a cosmic cube. Sometimes you go through a level, you'll be like, I got a cosmic cube. When did I pick up a cosmic cube? Some of them are really obvious or like impossible to miss. Others, you kind of have to look around a little bit, but I didn't need a guide or anything. I just kind of paid attention. If there was a level when I was mostly done with my playthrough of the story, I just went back through and I looked for ones that I was missing and said, oh, well, I'll try to do this challenge that I didn't get, and I'll look for the cosmic cube while I'm in there. Nothing was really difficult. So
that's good.
Yeah, just a really good, nice, fun game with no crazy difficulty spike.
That's good. Yeah, we'll definitely have to check that out here in the future. All right. So I kind of teased it a little bit. We both kind of teased it a little bit last week. But my game that I'm going to showcase this week is Dave the Diver. Now, for our listeners out there, you might know all about this game because a certain Moose, who shall not be named, talked about this game all the time. Hyped it up, said it was so much fun and everything. And one of these recent directs we had, they ended up shadow dropping the game. And for me, it was just the perfect storm. I remember you and some other guys were talking about it on in the Discord under gaming news, and we're saying, "Oh, it's finally coming." After they announced it, and you were talking about all the games that were coming. And I was finishing up Keeper, I believe. I think I had a little bit left, and so I was on a work assignment and in a hotel room by myself. And I was like, well, I had, put some games on my Xbox and everything. And so I was like, well, what should I do, next? And so I was kind of looking through those games, and then I saw the price for it. So the price is $19.99 right now without any kind of sales. I know it does on the PlayStation and Steam side go on sale for, I believe, 40% off every once in a while. So there will be the possibilities of sales here in the future, but I was like, well, you know what? I haven't bought a new game like this, and Koosh said it was really good, so let me dive right into it. And so I downloaded it. I think it's like 3 or 4 gigs, so it's not very big, which was great for the hotel internet I was on, since it was very slow there. And this is a game that's published and developed by Mint Rocket, which I am not familiar with. Do they have anything else?
I don't know. I hadn't checked to see what else they might have done.
Not on Xbox, at least, or TA. But I don't know if there's anything else that they've done. But if this is their first game, then I would have to say they're definitely one of my favorite developers, because I had so much fun with this game. And definitely not a teasing moment at all. I mentioned that this might be my game of the year for 2025. I'll have to do a little bit of a review here in the coming weeks as we finalize our end of the year lists and whatnot. But this game is so much fun, and I highly recommend it at the $20. It's a great game. It gives you a lot of content. It definitely has that I just need to do one more section kind of feel to it. I was having so much fun playing it and everything. So let's get into it a little bit. So you are obviously Dave, and your friend, gets you out to this location, and I think if I remember right, I think you lost your boat, right? Is that correct? And
I don't even remember you losing a boat.
it happened before. I thought he said something along the lines of, like he did that, but maybe I'm mistaken.
you're not a man of means. That's for
Yes,
one
yeah, you
thing.
don't
Yeah.
have a lot. You don't really have any much going on. So your friend invites you to this area where there's just all these random fish in there, like fish that wouldn't normally be together and everything. And he's like, "Hey, come do this for me." And so you end up setting up, your boat there. And then he's also like, "I also have this restaurant that I run too. I've got this sushi chef. He's very, well known, and we are gonna fix up this sushi place. We're gonna make it the best ever, basically." And so your goal is to dive for fish, to be able to catch them, and then at the night section, when you're playing as the at the restaurant, that you're going to serve these fish in a sushi type setting, and everything. So the game is set up into three sections. You'll have a morning section, an afternoon section, and a night section. Now, the morning and afternoon section, you will be diving or taking care of other things. And then in the night section, it'll give you a little prompt after your afternoon section and say, "Hey, you need to finish up and get everything done, and then come over and do the restaurant." And so you can still do things before you go to the restaurant, but once you lock in your menu for the restaurant for that night, then you're stuck in that little game. Not stuck, but I guess you're playing that little game, and the game doesn't last that long. It's a couple minutes to do the sushi section before you go finish your day, and then you start over again. So there's a few parts that you're doing in the morning and afternoon section. At the beginning of the game, you're going to just do a fishing part. So before you start diving and everything, you have the option to upgrade. You can upgrade your equipment. You can upgrade your guns that you have by means of catching the fish and everything. And you do all that, and then once you're completely satisfied with everything, you've equipped everything you want to equip, you've upgraded anything, whatever, and we'll get into that here in a little bit, then you'll dive. And so when you start out, you have a basic equipment, basic gun, everything. Like, you're not going to be able to last underwater very long because your air tank is going to be very just not very, it's not upgraded at all, so it's just a basic tank. Your harpoon gun is not very good. It's going to take a lot of time to catch the fish and everything, so you're not going to be able to carry a lot. Your weight limit as well is going to be very small, so you're not going to be able to go very deep into the game, or into the diving section. When you dive, you get to bring a weapon, and then you'll also have your kind of basic harpoon thing that you'll use to get the fish. Um, as you dive around, you'll notice that there are chests that you can open up. Some of these chests have guns in them. Some of these chests have equipment in them, like one of those. What do you call them? It's like one of those things that can make you move faster in the water. I'm trying to think
Oh,
of the name for
right.
that.
Yeah, like a little let's call it a little
Really,
turbo boost.
turbos. Yeah, it's like one of those things that you'll see in the movies, that the like the action movies, when they're doing like the seals and stuff are doing it, and they're holding on to it and going faster in the water than swimming, all that kind of stuff. You get that. You can get, there's other little equipment that you'll find. Yeah, so like I mentioned, there's also a box that will be guns as well. So they'll have an upgrade to your current weapon, or they'll have other different weapons that you can pick up. You're going to want to make sure to pick up these weapons and carry them back to the ship after you're done with your dive, because every time you bring them back, you get a part of a blueprint for that weapon. Some of these blueprints are going to be 2 weapons bringing back, and some are 3, I believe. And so after you fulfill the blueprint by bringing them back, you don't have to bring back anything like specific part of it. It's just bring the weapon back, and you'll get a little part on the blueprint for that weapon. Um, but once you do that, you'll unlock that weapon to be able to craft it and take it with you from the beginning. So you'll also, as you're diving around, you'll also find different things like rope and glass and metal and stuff like that. So you always want to pick up those things as well, because all of that stuff together will help you craft the different weapons. The weapons also have some elemental factors onto them as well, like poison or electricity and stuff like that, fire. So you can also craft those weapons as well if you wanted to. Like, let's say you really like the electricity aspect of it and you want that, you can craft the rifle with the electric bullets and everything, or whatever. Like they have a gun that shoots 3 bullets at the same time. They have a sniper rifle. They just have a bunch of different stuff. So, but in the basic sense, if you bring this weapon back, you'll get one part of the blueprint, and you bring it back again, you'll get the second part. You bring it back the third time, then you can equip it. You can craft it. You can equip it to you and take it from the beginning instead of just hoping that luck is on your side and you bring it there. I believe I'm trying to think. I think there's like 8 or 10 weapons in the game, and there's an achievement for being able to bring back all the blueprints for them. But you are going to be doing mini dives. I didn't have to grind anything out at the end for it. Yeah, that is some aspect of it. Also, in your dives, you're going to come across these red pots that are pretty frequent around it, and you always want to make sure to open those. Those are going to provide you with ingredients for your sushi, like soy sauce or turmeric, salt, different things like that. But they also contain cat food in them, and there is an achievement for feeding cat food to your cat 20 times. Which can be grindy. Some people say that they just haven't had a lot of luck and they had to keep grinding that out at the end, because after the game, the story mode's over. You can still just continue playing until your heart's content. So you don't need to worry about, oh shoot, I only have so many times to go through. If I can't find it, no, you're good. But just keep opening any red pots you see, and hopefully luck will be on your side, and you'll get those 20 cat foods, and you can get that achievement out of the way. Yeah, like I mentioned, so you'll have a weight limit at the beginning. So as you're catching any of the materials, the fish, whatever, all of that will add up to, like, let's say you could take 50 kilograms. So all the fish will add up, and all the materials, all that add up. You can go over it, like 20 kilograms, 20 something like that. But then you eventually reach a limit where even after you're at the top, you won't be able to collect anything else. And when you go over the limit of what you can carry and you're into that extra territory, you also move slower. So any kind of sharks or other things that are in there can hurt you or catch up to you a lot faster because you're swimming slower. Let's see. You'll also find ammo for your guns around as well, so you can use your bullets and not have to just say, oh, I've only got a certain amount of bullets. You can find them, and they're pretty plentiful, so you can kill the fish that way if that's what you want to do. I would just say that you can upgrade your fish as you catch them, so that they'll be more plentiful for your sushi. So I would say just go around and catch a bunch of different varieties of fish, upgrade them as you can for your sushi. So that'll help get you some more money. I believe eventually you're going to access a underwater mini sub, and that can take one fish back to the boat without you having to carry it. So I usually use that on the bigger fish, so I don't have to have them clogging up my inventory. You can upgrade that as well, as long as the other stuff, so you can increase your, that mini drone, so you can take it, instead of just taking one thing back, it can take like 2 or 3. I never did upgrade it because I didn't need to, but that is something you can use your money on. You can upgrade your tank to be able to be underwater longer. But you also can find air underwater. So it's not like you're just, oh, I've only got a set amount of time. Even if you upgrade your tank, you could still find little bottles of air that you can get and be able to, eventually you can be able to be underwater for as long as you want to. It's just a weight limit thing. But anything that you want to add to the fishing part of the game, Koosh?
I don't believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't believe you mentioned sometimes there's fast travel back. Like if you run into a sticky situation, you don't have to swim all the way back up. There's like these little places where you can call down a little cage, and then the cage will get you out of there immediately. So you don't have to swim all the way back. You don't have to plan for that.
Nope, that is
And
correct.
also,
There's spots like that, and that goes
yeah,
for every area you unlock. There is going to be a spot. So even if you're like super far deep in the game, you can still, and you're at the last levels and everything. There is still spots where you can just go straight up to the end.
I'm on day 2, and one of the things that this game does, number one, I love the game. Uh, one of the things I love is that
Shocking.
as you start, I mean, as you're starting the game out, it slowly rolls things out to you. Like, I'm gonna go do some fishing. Awesome. So you go for like your third dive, and all of a sudden there's these dolphins that need your help. Oh, guess I'm not diving. Like, so now I'm gonna do this little bit of story, figure out what these dolphins are doing. And so at least at the very beginning of the game, you may not be able to just kind of go and do all your fishing. I'm sure that opens up at the end once all those little intricacies that they're introducing to you have all played out, and then you can kind of just go do your thing. But yeah, so at the very beginning of the game, they're going to be throwing things at you almost every dive. You're going to see a new feature of the game, a new app on your phone that allows you to do a new thing to keep track of which fish you've caught, or all the starfish you've caught, and traded back in to get upgrades. There's just so much cool stuff. This game has been going on for a while, and it's not a small game. I feel like they put a lot into it. I shouldn't say it's not, it's no Skyrim, but there's a lot to this game, and there's a lot to love.
Yeah, so you made a good point. So you can catch fish that are 1 to 3 stars. Obviously, the 3 stars are better, and you can. It's not really like sometimes. I'm trying to think of the game, but I can't think of it right now. But there's sometimes where you have to like kill things. I think Far Cry does it, where if you kill it with a certain weapon, or no, sorry, Red Dead. I don't know if Far Cry does it, but Red Dead Redemption did that, where you had to, like in the info section for a specific animal, it's like, hey, if you kill it with this arrow, then you can get a 3 star carcass. And then if you kill it with a gun, you're going to get a 1 star carcass. It's not like that, but if eventually you can unlock, like you said, the ability to catch 2 or 3 stars, and that'll get you more inventory and everything. Um, and speaking of the tutorial, I think it does a good job of just kind of slowly giving you some stuff. It's not that slow, but it's not like, hey, here's 20 different things, go dive. It does a good job of telling you how to do things and letting you figure out some stuff, but also saying, hey, this is also, if you can do things this way as well. So yeah, so you'll do that the morning section, and then you'll do that for the afternoon section, for the beginning of the game. And then at night, your friend has opened up the sushi bar with all this exotic fish. And so you'll get, after you've kind of wrapped everything up, it will later on let you do a half dive at night. And depending on if you have like the Dredge DLC on it or not, you can have some fun things with that. But you also can catch some extra fish, and they'll cut into your sushi time. But there are some fish or some things that are done at night that you will have to do eventually, and it'll just cut down on your sushi time. Even though I say like it's a half dive, you can still stay down there for a long time if you want. But certain parts you can't go when you unlock further depths. Like at the beginning, you can only go a certain amount low into this big ocean they have, and at night it'll cut it off and say, hey, you can't go any further than this. So you can have fun, you can be down there for a long time, but you can't just go super far down into the depths of the ocean. But so yeah, so once you're done with all of that, you will head over to the sushi part of the game. Now at the beginning, you have a set amount of menu limit on how many different sushi rolls that you can do. And you can go super far into this if you want. I didn't really go too deep into it, but there's a lot of things that you can do with the sushi aspect of it. Um, and you have the cook that prepares the food. So Dave basically acts as the server. And so what will happen is you'll go into this section, and they have another. Speaking of tutorials, they'll have a good tutorial over each of the sections that you can do. But the main section you'll do is to curate the menu for the sushi. And so you'll take the fish that you bought, and then you can create sushi from that. So if you have like turmeric and you have a certain fish, and you have, excuse me, maybe something else in there, then you can make this sushi roll. And then if you have this fish and you have this, sushi, rice, and everything, you can make this roll. And so there's just a lot of different things. You can combine fish, you can combine ingredients and rice and everything. And so you do all that. And then at the beginning, you're basically just curating the menu. After you're all done with that, you're saying, okay, I'm done. And so you'll start the little mini game. And so people will come in and the cook will make the orders. And what your job is to take them the orders. And you have a little bit of a sprint button, but it's not very, very long for him. He gets winded really easily. And then you also fill up drink orders as well with tea. It's a little mini game that you'll get used to. And then after they're done eating, they'll leave money. Sometimes the place will be messy and it'll show you with an icon. You can clean it as well to get some more money. You also have a mini game on the side during this as well to keep your wasabi levels up and to make sure, because if it gets to 0, then you can't serve any sushi. So you got to watch that as well. And this, lasts for like a minute or two, and then it's done. And then you're going to restart the day over. After you collect all that money, it'll give you a little overview of how the day went, and then you'll start your day over, and you'll just move on to that. So kind of diving a little bit more into the sushi thing after you're done with the day. You'll earn some points depending on how well you do, and you can use those points to research new sushi dishes that you want to do. You'll need to research 30 dishes for an achievement. I think you get one at 5 dishes and 30 dishes. And so you'll need to do that. They come fairly easily. And so I didn't have to grind after the game for any of that. It just kind of came as I was playing. But yeah, eventually part of the game that you'll unlock for the sushi is that you can hire employees. So these employees that you can hire, you'll put up you have, I think, 3 tiers. You could do like a paper one, a radio one, and a TV one, I think, or maybe it's a paper one and a TV and an internet one. I can't remember. It's something like that. There's 3 tiers that you can do. The highest tier costs more money, obviously, but it'll get you better candidates. So you can hire, I think, up to 2 servers and then with one of the story things, you'll get an extra chef as well. And so that'll help you as you have increased patrons that'll come to the sushi bar to help fill those orders. You can also upgrade your extra cook that you have, and your servers. You can send them to employee training, and it'll cost a little bit of money at the beginning. But probably one of the last achievements you'll get is having to get them to level 20 on their employee training, because it costs a ton of money. And you'll eventually, once you get that, along the way of you training them at certain levels, they'll unlock traits. Like one of the traits could be that they will fill drink orders for you, and so you don't have to fulfill every drink order. Another one is, they'll go clean up the dirty side, and so you don't have to spend time doing that too, or you'll get more money for certain things. Like there's different traits that the people have, and there's a finite list of people that are in the game. From what I've seen, like it's not just random NPCs. Like it's a certain group that you'll get. So some people are better than others. And so as you train them, you'll be able to get more benefits from them. They'll put out the sushi faster, different stuff like that. Another aspect that you will have is this kind of fake Instagram thing called Cooksta. As you start the game, you'll start on the lowest level of your followers, obviously, and then as you give them sushi during the night, you'll be able to gain more followers, and as you gain more followers, you'll be able to rise your level up as you do meet certain requirements for each level. And then the higher your level is, the more patrons that you'll get each night. But you will have a certain amount of patrons. Like if you're at the bottom level, you might have like 20 patrons. And then if you go up to the next level, maybe you'll have 30 patrons. So don't just throw, hey, I'm just going to throw all this sushi out there, because it's just going to go to waste if you have more sushi than you have patrons. It's just, at the end of the day, everything's going to get wiped clean. So you can be aware of how many people are coming into your restaurant and just serve that amount of food so you can save the sushi for when you need to combine it or whatever else. So let's see. Got all that done. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the sushi night. Anything that you want to add that you've seen for the sushi?
Just get the servers as quickly as you can. I haven't done the chef, but your guy, I mean, you said he doesn't have much stamina. Yeah, he can't make it to the end of the bar more than once or twice during the night. So you definitely want to get servers because they don't seem to run out of stamina, and that's going to allow you to make money faster. So
Yes.
I'd put money into them first.
Yep. Yep. I would agree with that. All right. So you kind of gotten the basics of this as the basic gameplay loop. So as you've done this, you're going to start getting, like Koosh said, you're going to start getting some side quests that you'll see as you go down, as you're diving, and you'll do stuff with the dolphins. You'll do stuff with other things as well. I'm not going to spoil any of that, but just be on the lookout as you're diving to check out any kind of side quest. I just would recommend just doing them when you get them, even if you're like, oh, I need to go get this kind of fish. Whenever I saw the dolphin come up or other things come up, I was like, I'm just going to go do this right now and then move on. You don't have to do it that way, but that's just the way that I did it. And so as you progress through the story, you'll have different missions that you'll have to do and different objectives that you have to meet and everything. You'll also get access to more things. Some of the things that you're going to get access to is a farm and a fish hatchery. So the farm is eventually you'll be able to, instead of just having rice available, you'll be able to start cooking your own sushi rice, or I guess growing your own sushi rice. So you'll have a field. You can expand that field, and you need to for an achievement to get it all the way up to the max. You'll also have access on this farm to grow your own vegetables, which you can use in the sushi, like carrots and what other asparagus, like different things that you can have in there. So you can buy the seeds, you can plant them. It usually takes 2 or 3 days for them to grow, and then you'll get whatever is from your yield, you'll get that, and they'll go straight to your inventory, and you'll be able to use that in your sushi rolls. You'll also be able to expand the field to plant more stuff. So again, there's an achievement for having access to all the fields. So make sure you use your money for that. You also will have access to chicken coop and eggs later on. I didn't really mess with that too much, but that is something, if you want to do it, you can. You also can buy fertilizer to help give you more rice or more vegetables in the yield, or you can also use them to speed it up if you need something quick. So there is access to all of that if you need it. You'll also have access to a fish hatchery. So when you catch fish, after you have access to this hatchery, when you catch fish, you'll have a chance to get fish eggs, and then the fish eggs can lead to having fish in this hatchery. And the fish hatchery is divided by the depth that they're caught at. So if you catch a fish from like 0 to 50 centimeters, or not centimeters, but 50 meters or something like that, it'll go in a specific hatchery. And if you find another one that's in 50 to 100, then you'll go in there, yada, yada. So once you have a couple fish in there, they can start breeding as well. So if there's a specific fish that you want to give you a lot of money, then you can go and try to catch that fish, put it in this hat. Hopefully you'll get lucky. You'll go in the hatchery, and then you can start getting all those fish moved over to your sushi night and be able to use that fish for creating the sushi you want and getting hopefully more money. Some of the simpler rolls, like any sushi fans out there, like the nigiri rolls or the sashimi rolls, while they are, expensive, they're not as expensive as creating, like maybe a full platter or something like that if you use a bunch of fish. So you can kind of see how much you're going to get per roll that you serve, and then you can kind of customize what fish you want from that and say, hey, I need a lot of the bluefin tuna or something like that. So when you're on the lookout for it, go look, get a bunch of the bluefin tuna, and that'll help you get more, create more of those rolls, which will be obviously yield you more money. You can expand the fish hatchery as well, and be able to make it bigger so you can put more fish in there, and you can also open up different levels of the hatchery. So you'll be able to just use your money there. I don't recall there being, I'll look here in a second, I don't recall there being an achievement for having anything to do with the hatchery. It's mostly just to help you grow fish if that's what you want to do. So the last thing I'll just touch on real fast is the achievements and things to look out for. As far as I saw, there is only one missable in the game. There's a story mission later on. I think it's in the 5th or 6th mission, and you're going to be going into this base to get something, and you're only going to go into the base one time. And So if you don't get this achievement when you go on the base, then you're going to have to start a whole new game and do this again. So when you're doing the story mission, you're infiltrating this base. There's like 3 or 4 levels to it that you have to sneak around in. When you get to the top level, there's a thing for you to pick up that's a ration. I think it's a tie into the Metal Gear achievement or a Metal Gear game. And so you want to pick it up, and when you pick it up and get it, you'll get an achievement for picking it up. So just be on the lookout for that. I think it's called Ration Eater. Are you familiar with Metal Gear at all? Metal Gear Solid.
A little.
I think
I'm
that's what
looking
it.
at the solution for it. Yeah, it looks like it is about Metal Gear, but yeah.
Yeah.
And the
So
achievement's called Ration Eater. Yeah.
Ration Eater. Yeah. So that's the only one to really be on the lookout for. I never had any issue doing some of the other stuff where if I just didn't do it during that dive, they'd pop up the next dive. So I don't know if it ever gets to a point where it doesn't pop up. I never had that issue, but the only missable I saw was that one. So just be on the lookout for that. Just get it done with, and you don't have to worry about anything else. Hopefully, like we mentioned, just do the side level quests. Just get those done. There's achievements for those. Um, one of the things that you'll get access to as you progress through the story is being able to take photographs as you go around as you're diving around and everything. Sometimes you'll have some special stuff pop up, and you'll be able to take a photograph of it. There's a few times that I failed on certain ones that are really fast, and they would just pop up the next time I went to that same spot the next time. So I don't think it's missable or have any chance for you not to get it, but just be aware that there's a little icon that'll pop up on the screen and say, hey, do you want to take a picture? And you can take a picture, and you need to take 10 of pictures for an achievement. So you can get that done as you want. Like I mentioned, yeah, make sure to bring back weapons for the blueprints, because there's an achievement for getting all the weapon blueprints picked up. One thing I haven't really mentioned, I don't know too much about how to get these things to spawn, is in the game there are bosses that you will fight. They're kind of just exaggerated. It's very tongue-in-cheek humor in the game too. And I don't want to ruin it. That's why I haven't really talked a lot about it. But there are bosses that are exaggerated forms of different things that are kind of funny. And you'll fight them. Some of them are tied to side quests. Some of them are story quests. I don't know if anything's missable. I don't think they are. There was one that I didn't do the first time for a great white shark, and she came the next day, and I got to start it again. So I think you can just continue doing it. But you have to kill all the bosses, including the end game boss, and you'll get an achievement for defeating all the bosses. So I didn't feel confident enough to put a guide up on where I got everything, but as far as I know, like I said, whenever things popped up, I just did them right away, and then I was able to get all the side quest bosses and the main game bosses as well. There's a funny callback to Thor in the game. You have to find Mjolnir. That's on the deepest part of the ocean that you'll be in. So just be on the lookout for that. It's encased in ice. It's kind of random where it spawns and everything, but I'm not going to spoil it more than that. When you get to the end game, in the credits, I think there's 20, I'm trying to think, it's like 25, 30 people's names in the credit. You kind of go around in a little spaceman suit and everything. You can shoot the developers' names, and then they'll explode, and you have to shoot all of them in the time before the credits end. So you have a finite amount of time to do it. But once you kill all of them, in parentheses, by shooting them, you'll get the achievement. This is not missable, and so that after the game, you go back to the boat and you can just continue playing as long as you want. Like Koosh said, there's a phone with the app on it, and you can go to the app on your phone and just go back to the game and keep trying until you get it. So you're not going to miss that. There's one for getting, I think there's 7 murals in the game. 6 of them are going to be really easy to find through a story mission that you do. One of them is in a location, or 1 or 2 of them are in a location where you'll have to go back because it'll pull you into a cutscene and everything, and you won't be able to get that mural before that, and so you'll have to go back to that location. But again, this is easy. I did the mural stuff after I was done with the game, so you can easily go back to it and get it all done. The last 2 is there's 5 special fish that you need to get. I think there's more than 5, but you only have to get 5 for the achievement. That'll be a side quest later on. Again, if you don't want to do it right then, you don't have to. It'll just pop up. There's a guy that'll come up and say, hey, you need to, find this fish and everything. And he'll give you, say, hey, you have from Friday to Sunday to get it done. If you don't want to do it during that time, just skip it. And then whenever you are ready for it, just go back to Friday. He'll come back up and say, hey, I need you to get this fish. And there'll be a certain way that you need to, get the fish because they're kind of very specialized and everything. So, but again, you can't miss it if you just keep playing until you are ready to do it, and then you can get it done. The last one I'll talk about is a kind of like, what is that? What was that thing when we were younger that you had that little animal that you had to feed and the device and everything? You know what that one was?
Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi, yeah. There's like a Tamagotchi type game that you have to do. I would recommend just doing this as you go on, because I had to do it at the very end and it was boring. You have to get 5 basically Tamagotchi animals to almost their full life. And so what you do is you pull up the app on the game, it'll tell you about it and everything, and you have to feed it and you have to play with it, and then you go your dive, and then you have to come back the next section, do the same thing, make sure it's all happy and everything, make sure you clean its poop, and if it's sick, give it a shot and everything. So you basically just keep it alive till a certain amount of time, and then you'll get credit for one. And then you can restart it and get credit. You have to do this, get 5 different creatures from egg to, a certain point in their life for it to count, and then you'll get the achievement. So anyways, that's Dave the Diver. I know that was quite a lot. And the reason I went into a lot because I was the first one on TA to finish it. So I was excited for it. I know Koosh saw me going hard on it. And yeah, so, but I was excited. I loved the game. It was a lot of fun. I could not stop playing it. Yeah, that's Dave the Diver.
So a couple questions. I would say, at what point did you realize this was game of the year?
Probably about halfway through the game, I'd say. I just had a lot of fun doing the stuff like you've mentioned. Sometimes I just would go down and dive and just kind of explore and see what different stuff was. It was just, I think for the price point, everything's great in it. Like I think it's well worth $20. You get, it's a 40-ish hour completion, so you get a lot of bang for your buck, in my opinion. And I just had a lot of fun seeing all the fish.
I think something we didn't touch on at any point is how beautiful the pixel art is. There are animations in this game. They do a lot of animations. Like a boat pulls up and does something that just looks really good. But then as the chef is like researching, or as the chef is preparing, or as the gunsmith is making a gun or whatever, they just have these animated cutscenes that are pixel art, and they're really worth watching. Yeah, you may get tired of them. I think they do a good job of only showing one research. And if you go to research another thing, it doesn't show you again. But they're unique. They're very stylish and very cool. And it's just, this game is great.
And they're filled with humor.
Yeah, there's just humor everywhere. I hope people give this a shot now that it's finally on Xbox. It's a really fun game. It's a really beautiful game. I know you just blasted through it because you were, in a hotel room with nothing else going on. But the way I'm playing the game is just a little bit at a time. Of course, that's the way I play a lot of things. But I like to go and do like a whole day at a time, or maybe I'll just do my fishing part, and then tomorrow I'll do my sushi part. I'm just like stringing this game along, but it is just fun either way you play it, I think. I highly recommend this, and it's absolutely in one of my games of the year for Xbox, even though it's been out before. I think it's just fantastic.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's kind of have a little bit of a low player count right now, because I think a lot of people are waiting for it to come to Xbox, and it didn't. And then, you have sales on Steam or PlayStation and stuff, so you just pick it up there and play it there and everything. But yeah, definitely, if you haven't had the chance to play this, it's well worth your time. I just ended up, after playing it, I was having a lot of fun. I think it was started it the day it came out on the afternoon or something like that. And, by the time that next day was done, I didn't have anything for work that next day either. So I was just playing it, and I was like, whoa, like I ended up seeing I was well far ahead of anybody else that was playing it. So that's when I was like, well, maybe I will try for that first completion. And that's kind of why I did it. And I didn't even play it for almost a full day because I had to travel back home. And so, but one thing I did mention, one thing I did think of while Koosh was talking is there is tracking on this game for things that need tracking. So I never had any achievement issues. Everything tracked as it needed to. Everything spawned as it needed to. There was one issue that I brought up with the developer on a certain side mission. I needed every time I did it, the game would crash to the Xbox home screen. I was able to find a way around it, and I contacted the developer about that and said, "Hey, I'm having an issue here and everything." And they logged the issue and said they were going to look into it and everything. So hopefully they'll fix it on an upcoming thing. But that was literally the only thing I ever had an issue with on them. So everything was smooth. Everything popped when it needed to pop, and wasn't like a delay or shoot, I didn't do something right. So it was definitely was nice to see that come out like it. But anything else on Dave the Diver, Koosh?
I think we've literally covered everything.
I think I've shown you like a walkthrough basically on how to get this get this completion done for whenever you get around to it. But
there you go.
All right. Well, we were talking a little bit in the pre-show that it was kind of nice to see that Game Pass decided to just say, "Hey, we're going to get rid of all the BS and just this is what you're going to get for December. This is what's leaving in December." So, Koosh, why don't you tell us what we have to look forward to?
Yeah, I'll go fast through this. Let's see, what have we already seen? We've already seen Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Those are already out. Of course, by the time you hear this, Medieval Dynasty will also be out, which is survival open world management, 60 to 80 hours. Stellaris, I'm reminded that it's a sim management game that probably takes 600 hours. Then there's World War Z Aftermath, which is first-person shooter, third-person shooter, action horror, also very long game. Monster Train 2 is a roguelite strategy collectible card game, tower defense. It's 100 to 120 hours. Spray Paint Simulator is now on premium. Enjoy it. I thought it was fine. Yes, Power Wash Sim 2 is much better, but Spray Paint Sim is not bad. December 4th, 33 Immortals is getting a big feature update, but nobody's playing it because it's still in game preview. I checked the developer's roadmap or whatever. And it looks like it's going to continue getting updates through 2026 and maybe, because I guess they're 8 months right now in game preview, maybe in the first half of 2026, this game will finally get achievements and people will actually start playing it because I think it's fun and I'd love to have people to play it with. Also, Routine is out and apparently a very beatable game. It's a first-person shooter. I believe it's got some horror elements to it, and it's 6 to 8 hours. As you said, the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle just got some DLC, but it's also now on premium. So it's come down within that 1 year launch window from Ultimate down to premium. So Microsoft is keeping their word. It's an action adventure, 46 to 58 hours. If you've never heard of Indiana Jones, oh boy, do you have a lot of content to go through. December 9th, that is yesterday as we're recording. I guess technically it's today. Time's a funny thing. Dome Keeper is out. I'm really excited to check this game out. It's a roguelite action game. A game about digging a hole is out, and that is a strange one. Let me tell you, you don't get any achievements until you beat the game. Once you beat the game, you then unlock the ability to get achievements, and then you'll go back and you play a second or a third time. There's actually some tricks. There's an easy way to get a lot of money right at the very beginning of the game, which will help you with your upgrades. There is a timed achievement for beating the game in under, I think, 30 minutes. But if you use that thing to get the money, you can very quickly beat the game. I think some people said it took no more than 5 or 10 minutes to beat the game once they used once they picked up the secret money stash that nobody knows about, but totally check the forums because everybody knows about it. On December 9th, Death Howl. It's a Steam says that it's a deck building turn-based game. Apparently it looks really pretty too. So if you're into that, hey, check that out. December 10th, Mortal Kombat 1. This is not a brand new game, but it is coming to Ultimate Premium and PC Game Pass. So one of these days it'll get down to the standard. Right now, it's the first time in Ultimate. It's fighting game 40 to 50 hours. December 11th. Oh, yeah. Bratz, Rhythm and Style, which is perfect because we have to play some music games at some point for the 12 Days of Christmas. So I'm probably going to use this game instead of doing a sports game. Bratz,
No shame.
8
No
to 12
shame.
hours, absolutely no shame. Leaving Game Pass, nice, like you were saying, they gave us our news. Normally they would give us news and then take the rest of the month off, and then the first half of January, and we wouldn't get any news. At least they're putting everything out now, so we don't have to just sit and wonder and wait. Leaving Game Pass by December 15th, Mortal Kombat 11, which is fighting game 40 to 50 hours. Paw Patrol World, which is an action adventure game, 6 to 8 hours. It's awesome. Still Wakes the Deep, a horror stealth game. At 11 to 14 hours, there is DLC. I've been told, or I've seen on the Discord, a few people have said it's just not worth the price for what you get out of the DLC. The game itself is great. DLC, not so much. Wild Frost is a roguelite collectible card game. It's 35 to 40 hours. You are not beating that before it leaves, so if it looks good to you, you might want to pick it up on sale. Leaving December 31st, Hell Let Loose is a first-person shooter, 120 to 152 hours. You are on notice. You have time, I guess. And also a double stack of Carrion, which is a Metroidvania game, 6 to 8 hours. I thought it was great. I loved it. So nice. Did it twice. And check it out.
Yeah, I'm hoping I have enough time to do the Windows one because I really liked it, and I thought, hey, I might go back and do it. And then it left the first time, and I'm hoping I have some time later this month to get it done on the Windows version. Anything else you're going to do? Or
I think I bought the Xbox version of it.
Did you? Okay. I
think I did.
Anyone else? I wish I had more time. I'd do Still Wakes the Deep. I've heard it's good, except like you mentioned, the DLC. But I just I know I'm not going to have enough time to get it done with, and I've got other stuff to do that I want to do. So
it's not my jam. It was the sort of thing that maybe I'd kind of force myself to do and just knock it out before it leaves Game Pass. But there's just so much going on right now that I think I'm probably going to do nothing.
Well, that's the best way to do it around the holidays anyways, is just do less than try to force more things in. But yeah. So I think that about wraps it up for us. Don't know. Actually, I didn't really check, but on anything on Bragg Camp, I didn't really see much. I don't know if there's anything that stood out to you at all.
No, nothing new. I think Elroy hit 3 million gamer score, but he already talked about that last week. So congrats to him. I don't know anything else I've seen since then, though.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to keep his sanity while he finishes his contest.
Shocking no one. Waka did something crazy in a battle royale game, and he got the Pac-Man Chomp Chomp Champions or whatever it's called, which apparently is the servers are going down. He he burned the midnight oil for like a year. I don't know, something crazy long, and got all the dots. So congrats to him for continuing to be crazy with his battle royale goals of getting as much as he can in those. And it's something to behold. I would not do it, but good job.
I think I would burn myself out if I did like just one genre. Because it's like I love my management. I've thought about it at times. I've been like, I wonder if I should just go on the management leaderboards and just play that. But I feel like I would get burnt out on just doing management game after management game only.
Yeah, I mean, like I love Metroidvanias, but I love them because I don't play only Metroidvanias. And back when I was trying to, play a lot of them, I was starting to not love them. So I've been giving a break. So yeah,
that's kind of how I thought I would feel. Enigma Gamer got a 7-year achievement win streak, so that's pretty crazy. 7 years.
Yeah, those ones are crazy.
When I see that,
crazy.
But I saw that maybe next time we record, we can kind of go over a little bit of the Xbox stories for the year and everything. But I saw some of those in the general chat today when people are not trying to give stuff to the jail. some beef and crab legs and all that, Old Bay.
Right.
But yeah, it was. I saw so Volger's got Assassin's Creed Valhalla as his most played game. I saw some other ones that weren't. Wakapale had Seal. What the Fun? I've never heard of that game at all.
You'd be surprised to find out what it is.
I would don't know if I want to.
Battle Royale.
Sarge Cassidy had War Robots Frontiers. Hadn't heard of that game either.
Mine was Cookie Clicker.
Was it?
Yeah.
I
left it running overnight.
I need to do mine and see what all my stats are. We could talk about that for the end of the year and stuff. But anyways, yeah. Congrats to all those people. And if you have anything in Bragworthy, get it on Brag Camp, and we'll shout it out here and get you that recognition you so deserve. But as you were talking about servers being shut down, Anthem's coming up, NBA Live 09's coming up, and I guess that other one that you talked about is already gone, right?
That's gone out of my memory. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Talk about Chomp Champs. Yeah.
The Chomp Champ.
I think that one might go a little bit longer, but there's no way you'll get it if you start it now. So
yeah. So you'll have a little bit more time on some of them, but most of them are starting to kind of get out of there. So good luck with that. Anyways, we hope that you guys have a good holiday season. Next time we record is, I guess, Christmas week, right? I think.
Yeah,
somewhere around there. We'll have to see when we can do it, but so it'll be that, I guess. So from us on our panel, Merry Christmas, because we won't be out till after Christmas. So we hope Christmas and Boxing Day and whatever else, any kind of thing that you serve.
Festivus
for the rest of us. Anything that you celebrate, we hope that it's quiet and peaceful, and you get to enjoy time with friends, family, whatever, and you have some good food, play some video games, relax, watch some movies or whatever, and get to do all the stuff that you want to do and enjoy it with whoever you want to. And we will catch you next time. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Hello, AH101. This is Nerdy Neo again with a Year of the Vayner summary for the month of November. So for the month of November, the Vayner of the month, we had two. The one that was rolled was Arkham Asylum, which did not have any completions. And then Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown was our other Vayner of the month. And I was the only person who did complete that in the month of November. But it did end up being back-to-back Vayners of the month for October as well. But there were no completions in October for Prince of Persia either. But I did do the entire thing on stream if you are interested in watching me play that. And it was fantastic. It is now in my top 5 Metroidvanias of all time. It is a fantastic game, and I do highly recommend everyone do go and play it. But unless you're going for the completion, which most of us probably would be, I would say skip the DLC. It was terrible. But the base game was amazing. So for the month of December, the Vayner of the month was rolled as Headlander, but I went ahead and manually added in Ebenezer in the Invisible World because it is Christmas time, and I thought that would be interesting to. I was going to play it, but I don't think I'm going to have time to get through it before the end of the month. But we did have a little bit of a scare, if you want to call it that. It was announced that Hollow Knight would be leaving Game Pass, so it became a Vayner of the month for 12 hours, and then it was announced that was an error in the announcement, and it is not leaving Game Pass, so it is not a Vayner of the month. But we have not had 100% confirmation, but from very reliable sources, Carrion will be leaving Game Pass at the end of the year. We'll be getting confirmation of that in just a couple more days, or by the time you're hearing this, it might have already been announced. But assuming that is leaving at the end of the year, then that will also count as a Vayner of the month for the month of December. And that game is quite fun, and there are 2 stacks of it, and they are pretty short. I do recommend looking up a map because it can get a little confusing on where to go, but it would be very easy to get through both those stacks if you are interested before the end of the year. For games completed, the winners for the month of December is a tie between Ben L72 and Wakapale. They both had 4 completions each. And the most completed game for November was Draconic Resurgence, with 6 completions over the 3 stacks that game has. A couple of notable shout-outs. Icefire TN became the 4th person on True Achievements to complete Yars Rising, and Ben L72 is now 2nd place on the Metroidvania games completed leaderboard. So shout out to you guys. Awesome work. All right, now on to the stats. For achievements earned in the month of November, in 3rd place was Ben L72 with 58. In 2nd place was Jay Huns with 83. And in 1st place was Waka with a lead over Jay Huns of 2 achievements with a total of 85. For gamer score earned, in 3rd place was Jay Huns with 1,840. In 2nd place was Ben L72 with 7,490. And in 1st place was Wakapale with 12,475. And then lastly, for true achievement score earned, the most important one, 3rd place was Jay Huns with 5,132. In 2nd place was Ben L72 with 8,962. And in 1st place with a substantial lead was Wakapale with 15,672. All right, well, that does it for the November wrap up. But lastly, before we go, one last little bit of housekeeping. It has been a lot of fun running this Year of the Vayner event for 4 years now, but interest and participation has waned a lot, and so I have decided that this is going to be the last year of Year of the Vayner, so it will be ending at the end of December. But I especially feel bad for Sethi since he just joined us a couple months ago. So shout out to you, buddy. But glad you were able to join us at least for a short period of time. So with that, I will be recording one more segment in January to wrap up the results for the month of December and then the year-end totals for 2025 in their entirety. But on the bright side, the Vayner of the month has been a lot of fun. So I will keep that going so we have something to vote on each month and give us an incentive to keep playing the same games together and chatting about them. So that won't be going anywhere, but this will be the end of Year of the Vayner. So with that, everyone, have a Merry Christmas or whatever holiday it is that you celebrate. Have fun with your families over the holidays. Go play some more Vayners, and we'll chat about them more in the new year. So have a good one. We will talk to you all later, and goodbye.